Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. So before we start, let's go ahead and get something straight out of the way. This is going to be a very fast video compared to some of mine. This is for teaching. If you do not like anything that I am saying, do not leave a negative comment. You will get your comment removed. Potentially, you may get removed from my channel, or both. So keep in mind, this is for my teaching class. I have full videos on how to bend box offsets that I will leave at the very end of this video if you want to watch how to do it, how to understand all of the measurements. But what we're going to do is we're going to go over two of the most important things that I like to do when bending box offsets. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go over two things about box offsets. We're going to go over the way the book shows you, and I'm going to go over the way that I show you. If you remember right, I showed you that if you use your finger, you can never go wrong because your finger is never going to change. There's not going to be a whole lot of talking in this video, but I do want to say a couple of things before we actually get started. First thing is, your finger is never going to change. I just said it. I'm going to say it again. You want all your bends to look uniform. You do not want to have your bends bend over here, bend over there, bend over here, so it looks all up and down. You want to have them uniform. When you look down a wall and there's box offsets, or if you're just looking at random box offsets, you want them all to be the exact same dimensions. Nothing is worse than having bends that do not match. As you guys know from my class, I am a stickler on conduit bending. We take pride in our conduit bending. We do not say, looks good from my house. We do not say, we're not wiring the Taj Mahal, even though I have said that before. But regardless, we are going to make a nice box offset here. We're going to do it two ways. We're going to do it, like I mentioned, the way the book shows, and then I'm going to tell you the way that I do it. Both of them are okay, but we have to keep in mind, one of the two ways need to be done so they're uniform all the way through. So let's get started. One of the very first things we need to make sure we have is a pencil. I like to use these Right in the Rain pencils. They are amazing. I will leave links down below to these if you guys are interested in them. They are nice. You can actually see them, and they do very good. The lead is very big, and it writes very well. Right in the Rain, if your conduit's wet, guess what? Still writes. Now, we do not want to use Sharpie. I have preached you can use Sharpie. I don't mind using Sharpie as long as you take the Sharpie back off. When we have this piece of pipe here, what we want to do, we're going to go the way the book shows first. What does the book show? 2 inches and then 8 inches. All right, that's the way the book shows us. We want to put a mark, our tape measure here. We want to put a mark at 2 inches. We also want to put our mark at 8 inches. Gives us a final dimension of 6 inches in between the marks. So we're going to bend the book on this side, then we're going to bend the way that I like to bend on the other side. With the book, you mark it at 2, then you mark it at 8. You pull it down to 5 degrees. Now if we look at a bender like this, there is no 5-degree mark. It just starts at 10 and goes from there. So we obviously have to think about what is half of 10, which is 5. So let's go ahead and put this in here first. Let's look at this so we all are on the same page. If you're looking at this right here, this line, we have to pretend this line keeps going out. So we know that we have to be in between here. We wanted a 10-degree bend right here. This bottom of this pipe needs to pretend like this line is touching it. All right, right now it's on nothing because the 10 is not bent yet. We're going to go half of this distance. We're going to see if it works. Now, you may have to fudge it one way or the other, and it's okay to fudge it because sometimes you do. Not everybody's perfect. I'm not perfect. I can't get it every single time. But I'm going to pull it down on the 2 and 8. I'm going to bring the camera down where you can see what it looks like when it is on the 2 and the 8. And where it is 5 degrees. So let's bring it down here and let's show you. Now I want you to keep in mind, I did not draw my pencil marks all around. You definitely can if you'd like to. And for this video, I will go ahead and do it. You don't have to. I don't usually because I'm a pretty decent conduit bender to begin with. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm just saying that I can bend a lot of bends, and once I get a mark on there, I can kind of really tell where it is. So I went ahead and marked all the way around. What we want to do is you want to line this first pencil mark up with this arrow right here. This arrow is where we need to line everything up with. So this arrow will line up on your first pencil mark. Remember, this is the 10-degree. We need to go to 5, so we have to go half of that. Now, I'm going to show you here real quick what it looks like when I'm holding the bender, because I think this is super important. A lot of students that I show this to still don't do it, and they want to have the bender kick out from under them. So I'm going to show you how I caress the bender and how I hold it so it doesn't slip out. What you want to do is you want to take this bender like this. You want to put your foot right here in front of it. So the inside of your foot right here will cradle the bender handle. Then you'll put your pipe in like so. All the while your bender is not going to be able to kick out, because if you don't put it there, it's going to kick out every time. It's going to go this way, or however the way you do it. All right, you need to have a stopping point right here. It seems awkward at first, I understand, but once you get bending, you'll understand. Line your pipe up. All right, you got your foot placement, you got your handle placement. Now it's time to learn how to push the conduit down. Use your body weight. Don't use your arms. It doesn't make any sense. Your torso has way more force than your hands do. So let me show you what that looks like. So the conduit back in here, foot down there. Can't see it now, but you'll want to get down here like I am. This is the way I do it right here. I use my arm like this, right here, put my arm on the pipe, and I push down. I'm not going to do it right now because I want to bring you guys in close to show you what it looks like with the actual bending going on. But that's how I do it. I come right here like this. I don't come here like this and push down, because then you're going to get that rainbow effect. I come here and I push down right here. So I'm pushing down with my weight. Not like this, but I hold it tight and I'm pushing down, which you'll see here in a second. That way, it's a uniform bend. I don't have that rainbow effect. So I don't have that, like a rainbow. And the bend stays where it needs to stay at. So back to the bend. We have our arrow lined up with our mark. After we flip it 180 degrees, we're going to put that mark right there on the arrow again. But first, we got to bend the very first one. All right, let's make sure it looks good. Remember, we pull down, we flip over 180 degrees, and we bend again. So my foot is planted on the ground. I assume my position. Now I'm going to pull down to 5 degrees. I'm going to assume that's about right. Don't know, because there's no 5-degree mark. So assumption goes a long way when there's no marks on here. Now, I take the pipe and I slide it straight down. I roll it over, making sure that my mark is where the arrow is. Also, I want to look down the pipe, make sure that the bend is flipped over 180 degrees. Sometimes you got to feel it because it's hard to see. All right, everything looks good. My mark is lined up with my arrow. Assume my position with the foot, pulling it down to 5 degrees. Now, I will have to turn the camera off because I have to move to my box. But I'm going to go over and I'm going to take it over there and see if it indeed is the right box offset. Now, let's go over there and see. Now, I don't know if I have not put it in here yet. And I'm not bashful to say if I messed up, because we all are human. We can't get it right every time. But let's see. And that is pretty good. You can see the space we have here looks really good. Now, if we do everything on the 2 and the 8, it will be daggum near perfect. So 2 and the 8 works great. But the reason why I say pick a lane, which one you want to do. Do you want to do the way I'm going to show you next? Or do you want to do this? Either way is fine. A lot of the times, maybe your setup, your conduit setup, is set up over here. You need to go bend a piece of conduit, maybe 50 feet away from where your tape measure is and where your setup is. So, and your pencil. This was good. But I'll show you another way that I do it, that it keeps them all the same. Pick a way to do it and stick with it. 2 and the 8 looks good. You saw right here. I did not have to fudge it. This is exactly the same piece of pipe. I didn't have to re-put it in there. Yeah, I said re-put it in. But I didn't have to put it back in there and try to tweak it. Now, this way, sometimes I do have to tweak it. But I'm going to show you the way that I do it. Works out great for me. So let me take you over here and show you. All right, with this way right here, we do not have to have a tape measure. We do not have to have a pencil. So I'm going to show you the way that I do it. I've been doing it for years. It's always worked out perfect for me, and all of the bends stay exactly the same. Your finger will not change unless you cut it off. I use the lines of my fingers, or the bends. So there's my first bend. There's my second bend. What I like to do is I like to take the bender right here. I'll take my piece of conduit and I'll put it in. I'll take the second bend of my finger and I'll lay it right here on this gauge right here. So I'm putting it right here on it, like this. I will slide the piece of conduit to the end of my finger, just like so. And then I'll bend it, roughly 5 degrees or so. And then when I flip it over, I put the end of my finger, right here, in that bend. All right, we got to remember, put our foot in place around the bender so it doesn't kick out. We don't want no kickouts. All right, no bends on this piece of conduit. Like I said, I'm going to use the second line of my finger because my finger is going to be the same every single time. I put it here on the hook, put it right here to the end, and now I have it lined up. Now, same thing. I'm going to pull it down about 5-ish degrees or so. Turn this over 180 degrees. Now, here is the middle of my bend right here. It's probably very hard to see on the camera, but there's the middle of my bend. I can see where it bends. We're going to put it down. We're going to line it up. Make sure it's my finger's right there in the middle again. And we are going to bend again. Now, like I said, we may have to tweak a little bit. We're going to go over and we're going to see. All right, moment of truth. Like I said, I have not put this in here yet. I'm okay if it's not exactly right, but what we need to make sure is we get it right if it's not. So let's put it in here and see. All right, it needs a little bit more bend on the second bend. So you saw when I did the 2 and the 8, you can see right here I got gap right here. And that's okay, just a little bit more bend will be perfect. So let's go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, I just re-bent it. Let's see. Damn near perfect. All right, now let's look at the difference between the way that I bent it and the way that the marks are with the 2 and the 8. All right, you see how much distance I have here? I don't have a whole lot. Let's measure that and see how much it is. I got right at about 5.5, as you can see. Let's look at the other way, the way with the 2 and the 8. Let's see how much distance it is. Might be the same. It's about 6.5, so it's about an inch difference. So either way, both of them look really good. It's really a matter of how you want to do it. But the main thing is, whatever you do use, stick with it, guys, because you want these to look very uniform. Because if they don't, I mean, people talk about you. All right, there you have it. You can pick your method however you want to do it. I suggest you pick one, you stay with it. If you want to see the full video on how to bend a box offset, click right here in this video, be coming up. You guys can see exactly how to do it, step by step. A little bit more talking, but it is a very informative video. I'll catch you in that video. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. God bless, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day.